Another application of biotechnology in medicine is gene therapy. That is, technique of biotechnology used to treat diseases is gene therapy. It is one of the technique of genetic engineering that is used to treat genetic disorders. It is used to treat genetic disorders. So what is the definition of gene therapy, or what this gene therapy could mean? As I said, the application of biotechnology is medicals or in the medicine. It is not restricted only towards the production of therapeutics. It is used for preventing, diagnosis and treating the disease. Either the products of biotechnology or the techniques of the biotechnology are used to do one of these applications. So here the technique of biotechnology is used to treat disease. In the previous concept we have seen the product of biotechnology, that is the therapeutics that are used to treat the disease, that is genetically engineered insulin is used to treat diabetes, but here the technique, that is the gene therapy, is used to treat the disease. Okay, so what is the definition of this gene therapy? Gene therapy means it is a collection of methods that allows correction of a defective gene by insertion of normal or functional gene into person's cells or tissues to treat a disease. So what is this collection of methods that allows correction of a defective gene? Right? So what happens in case of the genetic disorder? There could be an abnormal gene could be present, or non-functional gene will be present, which will not code for the desired product, or it will code for the product in the lesser quantity that cannot be fulfilled to meet the desired function. Right? Then the gene is said to be defective. If it is not functional, which is not doing its work properly, then it is called as a defective gene. So correction of this defective gene, either by inserting the functional gene or by taking out the abnormal gene, right? So all these things is called as gene therapy. So it is a collection of methods that allows correction of a defective gene by insertion of normal or functional gene in the cell. So the correction involves delivery of a normal gene into the individual or into embryo to take over the function and compensate for the non-functional gene. It is going to help by removing the non-functional gene and producing the functional gene that is coding for the desired product. The first clinical gene therapy was carried out in the year 1990. The first clinical gene therapy was carried out in the year 1990, that is used to treat a disease, a deficiency disease, that is adenosine deaminase deficiency in a 4-year-old girl. In a 4-year-old girl by Dr. William French Anderson. But Dr. William French Anderson has treated a 4-year-old girl, that is, she is suffering from adenose deaminase deficiency. Adenose deaminase is an enzyme. Adenose deaminase is a enzyme. This enzyme is found in the cells of lymphocytes, that is in the immune cells, and it is very much important. It is very much important as it helps in purine metabolism and lymphocyte development. It is responsible for development of immune system. What is this ADA deficiency? If there is a gene that is non-functional or defective gene, then it is going to lead to the deficiency of the production of adenosine deaminase enzyme. If there is a gene that is coding for adenosine deaminase enzyme is defective, or non-functional, then the person will suffer with the deficiency of adenosine deaminase enzyme. So in order to cope up with this, how this enzyme is important, it helps in purine metabolism and it is responsible for development of immune system. This enzyme is important as it converts deoxyadenosine to deoxyadenosine. So if there is accumulation of deoxyadenosine in the body, that is toxic to the lymphocyte cells, and therefore the immunity is going to be reduced. Getting, students? This disorder is developed due to the deletion of the gene coding for adenosine deaminase or because of the non-functional gene for adenosine deaminase. So this enzyme adenosine deaminase is going to convert deoxyadenosine to deoxyadenosine. Then if at all this enzyme is remaining non-functional or there is a deletion of this gene, then there will be accumulation of deoxyadenosine which is toxic to lymphocytes, right? So the defective gene for ADA leads to a disorder called SCID. The deficiency of ADA enzyme is going to cause a disorder called SCID, that is severe combined immunodeficiency. It is called as severe combined immunodeficiency. Now, the people who are having non-functional gene or the deletion gene for ADA enzyme, they are going to produce SCID disorder, that is severe combined immunodeficiency. And the patients who are suffering from SCID are known as bubble babies. And the patients who are suffering from SCID are known as bubble babies. Why? These patients who are suffering from severe combined immunodeficiency, they are going to face lot of infections. They are prone or susceptible to lot of infections because ADA enzyme is responsible for development of immune system. If there is a lack of adenosine deaminase enzyme, then the immunity is reduced. If the immunity is reduced, there are no WBC cells produced to act as defense against the pathogens. So the body is prone to lot of infections and eventually it will lead to death also. So these patients are covered and kept in a germ-free area, microbe-free environment or the sterile conditions. These patients are kept, like how it is in the ICUs, right? How the ICUs will be, they won't even allow you people to wear your footwear. You have to leave your footwear and go inside, or you have to wear your head cap and you have to wear your shoe cover, gloves when you enter into the intensive care units. Why? Because the sterile environment is maintained so that whatever the infective objects or the substances we may carry, that the outside people must not enter into, or it should not affect the patient. So similarly, these bubble babies or the SCID patients are provided with a personal protective equipment, and they have a headgear will be present through which the oxygen mask is provided, and all the nutrients required for them, they are provided in the sterile condition. So they look like they are inside a bubble. That is the reason these patients are known as bubble babies, right? So this is helpful. ADA enzyme is helpful in purine metabolism and lymphocyte development, lack of which is going to cause SCID, that is severe combined immunodeficiency. Lot many infections are being prone or they are susceptible to these type of patients. Then in order to treat this adenosine deaminase enzyme, some of the methods were tried. Some of the methods were tried to prevent this or to cure this particular disease or disorder. So some of the methods that were tried were bone marrow transplantation is one of the method that was tried to treat the adenosine deaminase deficiency. Why bone marrow transplantation? Right? In the bone marrow, okay, it contains hematopoietic stem cells, and from this hematopoietic stem cells, the lymphoid cells are released, which is going to produce the lymphocytes. Right? And hematopoietic stem cells are also going to produce the RBCs, WBCs, plasma and platelets. Right? So, one of the component of these hematopoietic stem cells is lymphocytes or the lymphoid cells. So, therefore, the gene in the bone marrow cells, if it is defective, then it is going to produce the lymphocyte cells abnormally. It is going to produce the lymphocyte cells abnormally, or these lymphocyte cells contain defective gene. It contains defective gene for adenosine deaminase enzyme. And if there is a defective gene for adenosine deaminase enzyme, then it is going to accumulate the deoxyadenosine, which is toxic to these lymphocytes, and therefore immunity is reduced. So the healthy bone marrow from a healthy person which is containing the functional gene for adenosine deaminase is transplanted into the body. So if the transplantation is done, what will happen? It is going to produce the functional ADA enzyme, and therefore the body will build resistance towards the infections, towards the pathogens, and it will be able to fight against those infections. But there is a drawback for this bone marrow transplantation, because the body can reject the foreign material, because some bone marrow is taken from other person, then it is taken from the donor and it is implanted in the recipient. So therefore the recipient may reject the material, that is leading to allergic reactions. So this method also did not click in treating the ADA deficiency. There is another method known as enzyme replacement therapy. Another method which was tried was enzyme replacement therapy. Means the defective or the non-functional ADA enzyme, that adenosine deaminase enzyme, was replaced through the injections with the functional adenosine deaminase enzyme. Means the patients were injected with the functional adenosine deaminase enzyme, which was produced in large scale in the industries, that was extracted and purified and introduced in these patients through injections. Okay, but this is going to cure the disease to some extent. Means how? If your sugar level is going high, you take up the insulin and the sugar level is regulated. But once again, when you eat some sugar content foods, once again the sugar level will increase, and externally you need to take the insulin, right? So repeated or periodic infusion is required. Similarly, in this enzyme replacement therapy, enzymes are going to remain active for certain time. Okay, and because the body is not producing the enzyme, externally we are supplying. So throughout the lifetime, this enzyme has to be supplied to the patients. So the drawback is it is expensive, as well as periodic infusion, or after every interval of time it has to be injected into the patient's body. That is the drawback of enzyme replacement therapy. So even the bone marrow transplantation as well as the enzyme replacement therapy are not going to completely cure this disease. So therefore, using biotechnology, another method was produced, that is genetically engineered lymphocytes were used, because the lymphocytes are containing the gene coding for adenosine deaminase enzyme. If these lymphocytes were drawn out of the body, and they are engineered with the cDNA, that is complementary DNA was introduced. Then it is going to produce the functional adenosine deaminase enzyme. Getting? The lymphocytes are drawn out from the body and then they are genetically engineered, means they are incubated with the functional gene for ADA enzyme and they are again once again introduced back into the body. Then what will happen? It is going to produce the functional ADA enzyme and the body is going to build the resistance, or it is going to defend against these pathogens, and the body is going to regain its immunity strength. But what is the drawback of the genetically engineered lymphocytes? Okay, now in this genetically engineered lymphocytes, in order to introduce the functional gene for ADA, the complementary DNA is used. Means what is this complementary DNA? From DNA is going to get replicated, then transcription will take place, that is DNA to mRNA. From mRNA to protein is known as translation, right? Then DNA to mRNA is transcription. Okay, what is from mRNA we are producing the DNA, that is known as complementary DNA. Why we are producing from mRNA to DNA? In order to get the gene, right gene, because they have a defective gene, to get the right gene that is coding for the functional ADA enzyme through reverse transcription, if the DNA is produced, that is known as complementary DNA. That DNA, functional DNA, is introduced in the lymphocytes. It is introduced in the lymphocytes and the vector used here is retroviruses. Retroviruses are the vectors that are used to genetically engineer the lymphocytes and carry it to the animal cells. Because in the animal cells, retroviruses, clones are used for cloning the genes. Right? And it is going to provide the immunity to the body, and once again the WBC cells are produced from the lymphocytes and the body is able to defend. But these are not immortal, right? These are not immortal, that is they get degraded soon. Once you remove the lymphocytes and introduce, they get degraded and these cells are not multiplying. Therefore, because they are produced from the hematopoietic stem cells and they contain the defective gene, only when the lymphocytes are taken out, they are inserted with the functional gene, but once after few days they are going to destroy, and therefore once again the defective gene or defective enzyme is going to be produced. So therefore the gene therapy has done a great work in case of treating this ADA deficiency child, like it has used the functional ADA gene isolated from bone marrow cells, and using the vector it is introduced into hematopoietic stem cells at the early embryonic stages, and later when the offspring is developed, it is going to have functional ADA enzyme. Getting, students? The functional ADA gene is isolated from the bone marrow cells, and then what is happening? It is introduced into the hematopoietic stem cells at the early embryonic stages. If this is done at the early embryonic stages, because still the cells are not completely developed into the adult, it is still in the embryonic stage. So here the cells are going to differentiate, it is going to form number of tissues and number of organs. So if the gene correction is done at the embryonic stage, then it is going to produce all the cells of the body of the offspring that contains the functional ADA enzyme. So here the gene therapy has helped to treat the ADA deficiency. So the whole body will contain the functional ADA enzyme, and therefore they have the capacity to develop their immunity, because it is going to produce the white blood cells that is going to act against, or they are going to act as defense against the pathogens. Clear, students? So this is about the gene therapy. Now let us discuss the competitive bits. Question number 1. Humulin is a form of chitin. B. A powerful antibiotic. C. A new digestive enzyme. D. Human insulin. Humulin is a form of chitin. Chitin is a polysaccharide. Humulin is a powerful antibiotic? No, it is not a cell wall component. It is not a digestive enzyme, but humulin is a human insulin. Genetically engineered insulin is known as humulin, which was commercialized for human use. So the right answer is option D is the right answer. Question number 2. C-peptide of human insulin is a part of mature insulin molecule responsible for formation of disulfide bridges removed during maturation of proinsulin to insulin, responsible for its biological activity. C-peptide of human insulin is a part of mature insulin? No, mature insulin contains chain A and chain B, and there is no C-peptide. Option B, responsible for formation of disulfide bridges? No. Option C, removed during maturation of proinsulin to insulin? Yes. C-peptide connects chain A and chain B of the insulin. During maturation from proinsulin to insulin, C-peptide is removed by peptidases. So option C is the right answer for this question. Moving on to next question. Question number 3. The site of production of ADA in the body is, it is adenosine deaminase is produced in the body is erythrocytes, lymphocytes, blood plasma, osteocytes. Osteocytes are the bone cells and erythrocytes are your RBCs. Lymphocytes, that is going to produce the WBC cells, are the sites for the production of ADA enzyme. So option B is the right answer. Lymphocytes is the right answer. Question number 4. How many therapeutics are approved for human use? Option A 30, option B 12, option C 15, option D 25. How many therapeutics are approved for human use? Answer is option A 30 is the right answer. 30 therapeutics were approved for human use, but among that only 12 are being marketed. So option A is the right answer for question number 4. Question number 5. What kind of therapy was given in 1990 to a 4-year-old girl with ADA deficiency? Option A, gene therapy. Option B, chemotherapy. Option C, immunotherapy. Option D, radiation therapy. The important application of biotechnology in medical production of therapeutics, another one is the technique itself is used to treat the disease, and that is gene therapy, which is going to remove or correct the defective gene by the delivery of a normal or functional gene is going to be introduced that is going to correct the defective gene, and the process is known as gene therapy. So option A is the right answer. Option A is the right answer. Question number 6. The two polypeptides of human insulin are linked together by option A, phosphodiester bonds, option B, covalent bonds, option C, disulfide bonds or bridges, and option D, hydrogen bonds. The two polypeptides of human insulin are linked together by, it is disulfide bridges. Option C is the right answer. Phosphodiester bonds are present in nucleic acids. Covalent bonds are present in other proteins and chemicals, but the insulin, the two chain A and chain B are linked together with disulfide bridges. So option C is the right answer. Question number 7. The first human hormone produced by recombinant DNA technology is option A, insulin, option B, estrogen, option C, thyroxine, option D, progesterone. Question number 7. The first human hormone produced by recombinant DNA technology is insulin, estrogen, thyroxine, progesterone. It is genetically engineered insulin. So option A is the right answer. Option A is right answer for this question. Moving on to the next question, question number 8. Which technique would you expect to be permanent cure in SCID? Option A, gene therapy in adult stage. Option B, gene therapy in embryonic stage. Option C, bone marrow transplantation. Option D, enzyme replacement therapy. See, all these are the ways that are used to cure SCID. That is gene therapy in adult stage. It is only for that particular period. We have seen the lymphocytes were taken out, genetically engineered, and once again they reintroduced back. But since they were immortal, once again the periodic infusion of this lymphocytes was preferred, which is expensive and it is not a permanent cure. Then gene therapy in embryonic stage. Yes, that is correct, because the modified hematopoietic stem cells which are introduced back into the patient, if this correction is done at the embryonic stages, then as it develops into the offspring, it will have all the cells will contain the correct or the functional gene for ADA enzyme. Whereas C, bone marrow transplantation, there is a drawbacks of rejection of the transplant. Enzyme replacement therapy, expensive, and it is for temporary basis. So option B is the right answer. Option B for this question, gene therapy in embryonic stage, is the right answer. Question number 9. The first company to synthesize and market recombinant humulin in 1983 was A. Sun Pharma, B. Torrent, C. Eli Lilly, D. Abbott Laboratories. The first company to synthesize and market recombinant humulin in 1983, it was a American company, it is a US company, that is option C, Eli Lilly. Option C, Eli Lilly is the right answer for this question. Sun Pharma, Torrent, Abbott Laboratories, these are also the pharma companies. Okay, Eli Lilly is a biopharmaceutical company that has produced the insulin which was approved and it was marketed. Right? Question number 10. The recombinant insulin was produced in yeast cells, lactobacillus, fungi, E. coli cells. The recombinant insulin was produced in bacteria, E. coli, but not in yeast cells, lactobacillus or fungi. So option D is the right answer, that is E. coli cells. Why in most of the transformation or recombinant technology E. coli cells are preferred? Because they are multiply very soon. Time of multiplication required is less time, and it is going to produce billions of copies in less time. Their nutrient requirement is also less, and it is able to express the eukaryotic compounds also. So therefore E. coli cells are preferred for recombinant DNA technology. So option D is the right answer. Question number 11. A functional ADA cDNA, that is complementary DNA, which is formed from the reverse transcription, that is from mRNA. It is formed and it is introduced into lymphocytes of SCID patients using what type of vector? Since lymphocytes are animal cells, and for cloning genes in animal cells, the vectors used are retroviruses. So option C. Other options, TI plasmid, it is used for cloning genes in the plant cells. Agrobacterium tumefaciens also for plant cells. PBR 322 vector, it is used for E. coli cells. Whereas for lymphocytes, option C, retroviruses is the right option. Then moving on to question number 12. Two methods that were tried for permanent cure of SCID prior to gene therapy, which was a failure. Option A, enzyme replacement therapy. Option B, bone marrow transplantation. Option C, both A and B. Option D, none of these. Which were the two methods that were tried before gene therapy? Enzyme replacement therapy, other one is bone marrow transplantation. Both of them are having their own drawbacks. So option C, both A and B is the right option for question number 12. For question number 12. Question number 13. Proinsulin is made up of how many polypeptide chains? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Proinsulin is made up of 4 polypeptide chains. Proinsulin is made up of 3 polypeptide chains, wherein normal active insulin is made up of 2 polypeptide chains. Proinsulin is made up of chain A and chain B. These two chains are once again connected via C peptide or a stretch of C chain. So option C, that is 3, is the right answer. Chain A, chain B and chain C together constitute the proinsulin. So option C, 3 is the right answer for this question. Question number 14. Insulin used earlier was extracted from cattle, pigs, horses, both A and B. It was extracted from cattle, known as bovine insulin, and from pigs it is known as porcine insulin. Later only genetically engineered insulin was produced. So A cattle, B pigs is right. That is option D, both A and B is the right option. Both A and B is the right option. Then question number 15. SCID stands for deficiency of adenosine deaminase enzyme leads to a condition known as SCID, and SCID stands for option A, severe combined immunodeficiency. Option B, sickle cell immunodeficiency. Option C, stem cell integration development. Option D, severe cancerous immunotherapy. Option A, severe combined immunodeficiency. Why? As the immunity is going down in the SCID patients, they are encountered with a combination of infections. All types of infections together, they are attacking these SCID patients. So therefore it is known as severe combined immunodeficiency. So option A is the right answer for this question. Option A is the right answer for question number 15. Right, students? These are some of the bits related to gene therapy and genetically engineered insulin.